Hi, everybody. My name is Jenny Bent, and I am the Collegiate Choirs Coordinator for ACDA, and I'm also the Director of Choral and Vocal Activities at Sonoma State University. I will be presenting repertoire in this presentation that is designed to hook students in at that very first rehearsal. I don't know about you, but I always really look forward to that first rehearsal as finally an opportunity to share my love of this repertoire with my students. But as we know, the oral concept that we have in our mind of how the piece is going to eventually sound does not always quite get to that level in the initial run through. So we have to be very careful about how we pace and plan and scaffold that very first rehearsal, because we want our students to be able to see the potential that piece has and feel that excitement, even though it may not quite be as polished as it will be eventually. And then we want them to come back to the second rehearsal and invite some of their friends. So this is especially important for choirs that are comprised of non-majors, for people who are taking the course as an elective, people for whom sight singing might be a bit of a challenge, singers who don't yet have a very developed idea of vocal tone and what that means to be singing with a healthy and mature tone quality. I've been talking to a number of directors over the past year, and it seems that many people are in agreement that the overall level of musicianship coming into our programs is vastly different than it was 5 years ago before the pandemic. So it becomes very critical that we be very thoughtful about meeting our students where they are at now, and then how to efficiently bring them to where they need to be in order to be singing at a college level. So it becomes important that we make that first rehearsal a space where students feel welcome, where they feel that the music is achievable and fun, yet also challenging. All of the repertoire I'll be presenting today are pieces that have done that for me, and I hope that they are helpful for you as well. One of the most important things we can do for our singers at that first rehearsal is to get them singing and get them singing soon. Now, I know that sounds very obvious, but for choirs comprised of people who don't read music very well, that can be a real challenge. If we're just simply running all of our music from cover to cover and it's an elective choir, you are going to leave some students behind. And some of them are just going to be too shy and maybe a little bit too embarrassed to tell you that they're dropping their group because they're afraid that they're not going to be able to learn the notes, when you know in your heart you're going to be spending a ton of time teaching them the music, but they may not be aware of that quite yet. So getting them singing and feeling successful is really, really important. Finding a piece of music that has a recognizable melody right off the bat. One piece that is brilliant for this, I have found, is Mendelssohn's How Lovely Are the Messengers. This is the Westminster Choir under the direction of Joseph Flummerfelt. Just a wonderful melody and range for teaching healthy, rich tone. Now they all know this melody, so when the tenors and basses come in, they can sing it immediately. Just this beautiful counterpoint between those two voices. Then it opens up to this beautiful, rich chords. Great opportunity to teach some prosody as well, some inflection of the text. Every voice part is featured at some point with the melody in this piece, which is really nice. This edition, as you'll notice, also has some suggestions for voice doubling, which may make it more accessible for your choir as well. If you can get them singing a beautiful piano at that first rehearsal, there's nothing more magical than that. Showing them that a lot of people can actually be singing together and singing quietly. Get them listening to each other as well. Just a beautiful piece to introduce at the beginning of the semester, if not that first rehearsal, to immediately begin practicing elements of healthy vocal technique as well as advanced musicality. I've had the pleasure of having a number of treble choirs over the course of my career, and whenever I have a new ensemble, the piece that just never fails me is This Little Babe by Benjamin Britten from A Ceremony of Carols. Any one of those movements, I mean, you can do as many or as few of them as you'd like, and I've had ensembles that just want to do it every year. They consider it the treble choir nutcracker, if you will. It works great for alumni concerts as well. Teach it to them every year, then they come back and perform it together. It's a really, really fantastic piece and for so many reasons. But the way This Little Babe is composed, it really lends itself very well to a successful first rehearsal. The first verse is everybody sing in unison, and it is a driving melody. It is an exciting melody, and even if that's all that you get through in your 15 or 20-minute rehearsal block, that is in and of itself exciting enough. And then you can start adding on the following canons that are presented. Then it's in a 2-part canon and then a 3-part canon. And I will tell you, that 3-part canon, I have had students who have sung this piece no fewer than 50 times with me over the course of their time, and that verse they are never not on their toes, and fully engaged when they're singing that third verse. It is so fast and it is so fun, and every time they get through that third verse, it's like they've hit a home run in baseball. The sense of achievement is absolutely palpable. So we're going to play a recording of that for you. This is Martha Shaw and the Spivey Hall Children's Choir. You can almost hear the horses galloping. You can teach this second verse unison as you're teaching the new text, and then break it into the canon. Together rhythmically here. The section's a little bit trickier. You may not read quite through this all the first rehearsal, but now all of a sudden we are in this beautiful anticipatory section and it's unison. But it feels so climactic. So I have found so much success with that piece. Every time I have ever done it, my singers have absolutely loved it and have never tired of performing it. The next piece on my list is Solite by Praetorius. This work comes in a variety of voicings. The one I'm going to be focusing on is for TBB. This piece is just an absolute nugget. I performed it a few years ago with an honor choir. It was the first time this honor choir had occurred post-COVID, and I had no idea what I was going to be walking into, but I knew I wanted to do something early, something fun, something with different languages. And you can also introduce the word macaronic to the students because it incorporates both Latin and German, but not at a place where it's too terribly advanced. This was the piece where I would tell the students, after they had been, rehearsing for 10 hours that day, go take a 10 or 15-minute break, but they could not stop singing it. I would hear them singing it in trios and small groups everywhere from the top of the stairwell during the break. They would sing this piece oftentimes at twice the tempo because it is just that much fun to sing. So this is Salite. Again, this is the TBB version, and this is arranged by Russ Robinson. Nice strong opening. Some homo rhythm here, so you can teach them all those rhythms together and that text together.
Ein kleines Kindelein liegt in dem Krippelein. Alle liebe Engelein, dienen dem Kindelein. Alle liebe Engelein, dienen dem Kindelein. Salite unigenito, Christu Dei Filios, Christu Dei Filio, Redemptori Domino.
Fair amount of repetition, so if you teach them that first verse, they'll actually know a lot more of the piece than they may think, which can lend itself to a nice sense of accomplishment. One of the challenges that I did have when performing that piece was helping them not run away with the tempo. That was one challenge because they just loved it so much, and they got so excited while they were singing it that it's hard not to let that happen. But I think that when you have that excitement about a piece, that's a good challenge to have. The next piece I'm featuring is Deo dicamus gratias by the German 18th century composer Gottfried Omelius. This work, again, is just another choral gem. It is about a minute long. It makes a great concert opener, and it has an overall positive, majestic, uplifting message of giving thanks. The voicing is SSA, tenor baritone bass, so if you are lacking tenors in your ensemble, that could be a voicing that could be more appealing to you. It's also very, very doable in one rehearsal, but it also breaks into two parts. So if you only get to that first part in the first rehearsal, there's still a good sense of accomplishment there. So this is Deo dicamus gratias by Gottfried Omelius. This is Cervantes Berlin under the direction of Stefan Stuck. And as you can see in this edition, there is a repeat of the B section, so you can choose to do that if you want to elongate it a bit. That it's also a wonderful piece for teaching articulations that are appropriate stylistically for that time period. It's just a really wonderful teaching tool. One thing you may want to consider doing before your first rehearsal is establishing with the students which line they're singing. For some students who don't read music very readily, even some who do, they may get a little bit confused at the fact that they only have one staff of singing per page. So taking a moment just to have them indicate which line is theirs can be helpful. But I hope you find success with that piece. It's definitely one that my singers enjoyed performing. My next selection is Confitemi Domino by the Venezuelan composer Miguel Astor. It can be found on the website La Voz Music Publishing, which is a website that features music by Latin American composers. It's really a tremendous resource. This piece is absolutely electric. Once you teach the initial text and the rhythm, all of the pieces, once they start counting correctly, all the pieces fit together like a beautiful choral sonic puzzle, and it's extremely exciting and a great choice for your first rehearsal. I don't want to talk too much over the playing of this, but you'll notice that everybody has the same text and the same rhythm. They just come in at a different time and also at a different pitch level. And that pitch level is crunchy, which is a lot of fun. It sounds really cool once it's put all together. Then at letter A, this is a new section. You'll see that the sopranos and the altos have the same theme. It's just at a canon. And then the tenors and the basses have a duet here as well, and their melody is one that is very singable. It's very catchy and hopefully not too difficult to teach. So here, without further ado, is Confitemi Domino by Miguel Astor. Again, just repetition at the second. Another duet with the tenors and basses. Just a nice canon. This is a really fun section here as well. Have a moment to stretch their creativity and aleatoric chops. And again, a very singable melody. Not too hard to teach. just a really fun piece that that once they achieve it by the end of the semester, it's very rewarding, very gratifying. But you can definitely find some sections within that piece that are very teachable within that first rehearsal, and we'll show them the excitement that piece holds. This next piece is a lot of fun. It is Theodore Cookson's arrangement of the South African folk song Kwa Mashu. It's part of the Andre Thomas choral series. It has a lot of really fun rhythm and repetition, so in that first rehearsal you might actually get them to memorize part of it, and they can therefore get their eyes out of the score. And we all know that once they get their eyes out of the score and start looking at each other, then the choral community can begin to build. This is the 2018 Texas All-State Mixed Chorus performing under the direction of Dr. Andre Thomas. You'll notice that the first verse is simply a presentation of the folk song melody. That might be a great place to start in your first rehearsal, having everybody in the choir learn that part, even if they don't have the melody written for their particular voice part. It's still very good to know the melody of the piece for which you are providing harmony. It's also a great way to introduce the text so that when it does come time to teach their own part, that doesn't come as too much of a surprise. So as you can see, a lot of fun, a lot of repetition, lots of opportunity for students to just kind of let go, sing with a full tone, and just to experience that ensemble for the very first time in a fun way. Mariana Martinez was a classical composer active in Vienna during her lifetime. She experienced a good amount of success and recognition, but much of her music did fall into obscurity after her death. Fortunately, much of her music is now being unearthed and published and made available for today's audiences and musicians. This next piece is Dixit Dominus, and this was edited by Andrew Hathaway and can be found in the Jeffrey Benson Choral Series. It's a wonderful introduction to your chorus for the classical style, not too difficult for non-readers to sing through, and it's also a great way for your more advanced singers to add to their classical repertoire. This is Dixit Dominus by Mariana Martinez. This piece is about 4 minutes long, so I'm not going to play it in its entirety, but you can find the link here on J.W. Pepper. As you can see, there are also some nice recordings on YouTube as well. Starts out with this beautifully elegant piano prelude. strong homophonic opening. Pretty straightforward rhythm that hopefully students can read easily, or at least hear easily enough. And then we have some repetition right there. So just a beautiful alternative for a classical piece. Classical music in and of itself is a little bit more vertical, a little bit more structured, and a nice way to get people singing right away. And it's also by a composer that is, up to this point, fairly unknown. And so for your students who are more advanced in the reading end of things, it's a way for them to expand their classical repertoire, which is a good thing. This next piece will be hot off the press later this spring. It's not currently available as I'm creating this video, but it will be very soon, and you're going to get a sneak peek of it here. It's called There Will Be Songs, and it is by Dr. Christina Rasmussen Collins. It'll soon be available on Heritage Music Press. It is a beautiful piece of music. The melodies are gorgeous, lush harmonies, lots of opportunity to build tone. Christina is a singer herself and really understands the voice very well. There are a lot of opportunities to also create some beautiful musical line right off the bat in that first rehearsal. The tempo is also slow, so if you have some students who struggle with reading, hopefully they can glom on to some of those students for whom reading is not as much of a challenge, so that they can really hear the potential of the piece, the beauty that that piece holds, and that they feel that they do indeed have a place within your wonderful ensemble. This again is There Will Be Songs by Dr. Christina Rasmussen Collins. This is a recording of the world premiere of There Will Be Songs, recorded last fall by a mass choir at Fresno State University. So beautiful, beautiful piece. And that will be available again through Heritage Music Press later this spring. My next featured selection is In Love with You by Alec Powell. This piece is just a breath of fresh air. It's written in a Broadway style. Your audience will love it. It's also a great gateway piece for your singers who perhaps have not sung much concert music yet. It's a lot of fun to sing also for your advanced singers. It's about singing about love, and who doesn't love singing about love? So this is In Love with You by Alec Powell. So you'll see here in the beginning that the melody is presented in octaves initially and then breaks into some harmony. The piece is also sectionalized very nicely so that you can do an initial read through and then focus on a section and really delve into some of those harmonies, because many of them are quite rich and just absolutely sparkle. You'll notice here also measure 36 in the bottom. The melody comes back again a number of times, but in this time it's featured in the tenors and basses in a nice little canon with the sopranos and the altos. So without further ado, this is In Love with You by Alec Powell. Beautiful piano part as well. There's a beautiful little imitative section here between the sopranos and altos. This feature for the tenors and basses. Just beautiful. Nathaniel Dett's Ave Maria is an absolutely stunning example of this text setting. If you have singers coming to you from high school choir or who have limited experience but have sung something in Latin, chances are it was probably an Ave Maria, so hopefully the text won't create too much of a barrier. The tempo is moderate, the rhythms are pretty straightforward. There is some chromaticism in moments, so if you do have readers in your choir, those may be some times where they may be kind of pulling along those non-readers, but hopefully not at a pace where it'll be overwhelming for those people who don't read music. The piece also lends itself well to breaking down into sections for rehearsal. So if you wanted to hone in on a particular section to create some mastery of notes and some polish, that is absolutely possible as well. This is Nathaniel Dett's Ave Maria. This is the Nathaniel Dett Chorale under the direction of Brainerd Blyden Taylor. It's a gorgeous cadence there. Beautiful piece and a beautiful recording as well. So not a simple piece by any stretch. It's definitely has its challenges and requires a certain amount of vocal skill and vocal breath support and sustained vowels. All of the things. But in that first rehearsal, If you have singers who do read, you could definitely have them pull along some of those non-readers. There's also a for rehearsal only piano part there that can provide some support, but also just honing in on sections, smaller sections at a time to master the notes and to create some real musicality and some of those sparkling choral moments that we all strive for. I think that that's definitely achievable right off the bat in that first rehearsal. This next piece is by the composer Richard Robert Rossi. Richard is a very prolific composer of both sacred and secular music. He's also a brilliant countertenor who truly understands the mechanics of the voice in all ranges, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. He writes in keys that are comfortable for singers and also tune very well. Richard is also a pianist, so your pianist, who will absolutely need to have some chops, I will add, will have so much fun playing his parts because quality-wise, they are absolutely on par with those of the choir. The piece I'm going to be featuring is called Spring. This is one of his more accessible pieces. There's also a counterpart to it called Winter. The piece has a very lilting melody, very catchy melody, and is not terribly difficult to read through, and will absolutely get your singers singing at that first rehearsal. It's a really elegant flute duet. Richard's music really allows singers to sing out, which is very helpful when you are developing healthy vocal technique. And if in that first rehearsal they're not quite there vocally in that last verse, if they're not quite getting those B flats in a way that's pleasing or healthy, if you can focus on the first verse, the second verse, those are more achievable for that first rehearsal, if need be. Richard, as I said, has composed a lot of sacred music, a lot of secular music. He has a number of settings of Shakespeare texts that I would definitely check out. Also, two other pieces that are absolutely gorgeous if you're looking for a processional for a holiday concert. He has a Conditor al Mesiderum, which starts out as a setting of chant and has handbells. There's also a setting of O Come, O Come Emmanuel, which is absolutely haunting and gorgeous as well. The Conditor is a little bit more accessible. The O Come Emmanuel is a little bit more difficult in my opinion, but both equally beautiful and haunting, and I recommend you checking them out. I'm deviating slightly from the theme of my session for this final selection. This one is definitely for advanced choir, but it is just too glorious of a work not to share with the choral world. This is by Finnish-American composer Alex Freeman. It's the fourth movement of his work Cathedral of Spring. The title of the movement is Benediction, Spring Hymnal. This recording is by the Somnium Ensemble. as you can see, the notes are pretty accessible, pretty tonal. The counting might be a little bit more of a challenge until they get used to it, at least. I just think that last piece is absolutely glorious, and I love that the last few measures are asked to be performed glacially slow. I've never been to Finland before, but I can imagine that Alex, as a resident of that country, may feel that way as he's awaiting the arrival of spring. So inspired by it that he created a performance indication in its honor. Alex's music is not very readily available on the websites that we frequently purchase our music from here in the United States. That piece is available on the Schott Group's website. That's its publisher. And again, it is the fourth movement of a larger work called Cathedral of Spring. If you are interested in learning more about Alex's music, you can obviously do an online search, but you are also welcome to get in touch with me directly, and I'd be happy to share some additional resources and perhaps put you in touch with Alex as well. If you would like more information or have questions on any of the repertoire that was presented in this video, please feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Jenny Bent, and I'm the Collegiate Choirs Coordinator. My contact information can be found on the ACDA National website. Best wishes to all of you as you continue to build your programs, as you continue to program concerts that are high quality and as inclusive as possible.